stress is just ruling your life. Are you like many people that I serve in my digital wellness practice where they find themselves against their will, turning to food as a way to cope? Well, in this episode of the Dr. Grant Show, I am going to show you how to rebuild yourself and take back control of your life. As we gallop closer and closer to 2023, I'm often speaking to people that are in one of two camps. Camp number one is let's just tackle it in the new year. Camp number two is what can I do right here, right now, before 2023 hits to stop the stress eating, stop the binge eating, at least make a dent in it? Because I tried waiting until the new year and again and again and again, and I kept repeating the same pattern. I'd wait, I'd be good, like good behavior for a moment or two, and then I tumble right back down into the same behavior again. This is often the sentiment that a lot of people that I speak to in my digital wellness practice, at workshops, seminars, master classes, they have. One of the reasons why they realize that something has to change, it must change, it's time to take back control of their lives, is because they've tried it the other way before. They didn't like the way it felt. They didn't like the lack of support. They didn't like that hanging and suspended animation trying to figure out where they went wrong and how to fix it. For those of you that are unfamiliar with me and my work, hello, my name is Dr. Kirsten Grant, and I know what it's like to feel out of control. You see, food, it can be so very comforting in our times of stress, but unfortunately, it's not a long term solution. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to start rebuilding yourself, how to take back control of your life. We'll be covering a couple of topics. We'll be covering number one, signs that you are a stress eater. It's not what you always think. Number two, turning to food when you're overwhelmed or stressed. Also, we're going to be giving some tips, and I'll be covering some major tips on rebuilding yourself and helping you understand what makes you want to reach for food. Next, knowing your triggers. Next, healthy snacks, but with a twist. And finally, extending yourself grace. All right, let's get into everything, guys. You ready? Cool. So, first of all, let's cover the discussion and confirm whether or not you really are a stress eater, because there is a difference between stress eating and just eating to scratch an itch, especially if it's chronic. Stress eating can fall into one of two camps, either acute or chronic. Acute means it's just a one off occasion, once or twice. It's not something that's frequent. It doesn't really follow a pattern, so to speak. It's not something that occurs frequently. Chronic means that you are often besieged, under attack. It feels like it's coming at you from all sides, this stress. And because food is silent, it doesn't judge. And in this instance, for those that are vulnerable to the effects of stress eating, you'll find yourself eating either before said event or you'll find yourself eating after said event in order to calm down. Neither one is right or wrong. And for those of you that are just joining now, hello, welcome, welcome to the show. Feel free to type any comments in the direct message there. But anyway, it's not that one is wrong or one is right. Stress eating is an offshoot of emotional eating, by the way. It's just important for you to know where you fall. Next, turning to food when you are feeling overwhelmed or stressed. Now, overwhelmness and stress can come and approach you in vastly different ways if you're not careful and not on alert. You see, being overwhelmed or stressed and you're at your job, for example, and there's this major project that's due, that's something, a pattern it's easy to anticipate and see. You can kind of fortify yourself against that with a healthy snack or something like that. What I'm talking about are things in life that cause you to feel overwhelmed or stressed, and, well, you didn't even know that was causing you to feel overwhelmed or stressed. So, I am all about giving you tips because, and this dovetails into my next point, that you're not alone. If you find yourself having sneaky instances of where you're overeating because you're stressed or emotional eating, then let me give you some tips to help you because I'm all about giving you something that you can implement. We have number one in our arsenal, EFT tapping, of course, which is proven, scientifically proven to be very effective for addressing stress, anxiety, depression. Now, you can get a script, for example. There's tons of free information floating around the internet, including mine, but that will only dig so far. And here's why. You're getting the information what's called asynchronously. When you get information one directionally, which is what asynchronous means, it doesn't give you the opportunity to have a conversation with someone. And it also doesn't give you an opportunity to truly know if these words that you are tapping on are truly the words that you need to be saying. That is the only caveat to EFT tapping. You can grab a script, you can grab a video. It will make you feel good. Don't get me wrong. It's better than you sitting there and just letting your emotions pour onto you until you are nose deep in these emotions and steadily rising and climbing to the point that you feel like you're drowning. That's when the emotional regulation comes in of the need to give in and binge. So, yes, tapping to a script is better than nothing, but there is nothing more powerful to ending emotional eating and ending stress eating than someone actually working with you and giving you the exact, precise words to say. It's almost like a scalpel, a medical scalpel that attached to a surgeon that knows exactly where to cut and doesn't leave any waste behind. So, the reason why I want to talk about this point in terms of stress eating is that as for me, it feels like gallops towards the end of 2022. A lot of people that I'm talking to lately, they're talking about rebuilding themselves. Let's face it, guys. We've had a pretty rough and character building, myself included, couple of years. I'm sure you know why. So, the bright side is when you go through times like this, you get to learn more and more in a pressure cooker situation what you do and do not like, what you will and will not tolerate. So now I think we've gotten really clear now on various scenarios and situations that let us know, no, I don't like this. This does not feel good at all. And perhaps there have been areas of discovery where you say, you know what? I've never explored this before. I wasn't willing to explore it before. But you know what? I kind of like it. I think it can stay. Now you're armed with the information that you need because you see, your stress eating and most people's stress eating and emotional eating and food binges is tied to your emotions. Once you learn about patterns and triggers and have someone guide you, you'll be able to master your emotions. You'll be able to master your physiology, which leads me into the next point. First, you need to identify your triggers. What is setting you off? What makes you want to reach for food? You can grab your phone right now or grab a sheet of paper and just write down three, three things right now that let you know these are the three things that really set me off, that make me feel uncomfortable, that make me almost feel like next, I want you to draw a line from each one of those three things and write down what that represents to you. It makes you feel this way, for what purpose, what reason. Just before you reach for the food that you did not intend to reach for, what's going on in your mind? I want it, but for what purpose? You want to eat the food, but for what reason? What will it do for you? Rewind 5 minutes before that. Think about what happened, how it made you feel. Drop yourself down, visualize what was going on at that time. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel? Not just in your mind, but what did you feel in your body? Was there ache? Was there a sharp twang? Was there a pulling? Was there a sensation? Was there heat? Was there cold? You see, everyone is different, but most people are unaware that our body, it sends us signals, very subtle signals, because it doesn't speak English. Your brain does, but the body does not. Once we become more in tune with our bodies and what those subtle signals are, those warning signs and signals are as they're being thrown up, we can begin to navigate the path of stopping the urge to give in to stress eating, coupled up with the right tools. Like I said before, EFT tapping, and also sound baths, where they put together, or hypnosis. These are all great, great tools, but you have to know which tool to use and where. Now, once you have identified your, as I previously mentioned, it could be you using EFT tapping. It could be you using a EFT tapping sound bath or a sound bath by itself. It could be something less psychologically based. It could be taking a walk. Could be just taking good, deep yogi breaths. Your objective with these tools is not necessarily the tools themselves. Your objective with utilizing these tools is to keep the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, online. Because if you don't, This is where the opportunity comes in to stress eat and emotionally eat because you're not able to think clearly. Most people are not able to think clearly once the prefrontal cortex is offline. And then the urge to give in to food cravings, it becomes too strong, too much of a pull, too much of a magnet, too much of a calling to ignore. But that's okay. You are not alone on this. This is one of the things that I love, 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 love working with people on in my digital wellness practice, where we work with stress eaters, emotional eaters, food addicts, people that are looking to lose weight. We help you identify the real reason, not the reason that you think, but the real reason why it is so hard to stick to that healthier habit. And we help you design something by reprogramming your brain, and we make sustainable solutions for you. Very often, we don't talk anything about calorie counting because there's really no point. We don't talk about a diet. We don't talk about workouts. We don't talk about food. We don't talk about fitness at all. Because until we address the crown jewel in this journey, which is your mind, nothing else is truly sustainable. It is the equivalent of you trying to vacuum, but you forgot to plug the vacuum cleaner in. This is the reason why we spend the most time on your mindset, identifying your triggers, also neuroacoustically helping you rewire. So then that way it's easier for you to walk away from those food cravings. But most importantly, the final note that I want to leave you guys with is extend yourself some grace. Be patient. However long you have been on this earth, you have ideas, habits, thoughts, value systems, and beliefs all entrenched and set up. And without the proper guidance and one on one attention, it is going to take longer to unbraid and untangle these things if you succeed at all. So give yourself some grace for all the times that things didn't go the way that you planned. Because eventually you will overcome your stress eating habit. However, if you would like to supercharge this and make this move a whole lot faster, then you may be interested in reaching out for some help. One of the things that I enjoy the most in my mentorship program is providing that individualized attention. And also for people that, well, they need privacy. They want to discuss certain things, but they realize that as they go deeper and deeper into the real reasons why they're stress eating, they may not want an audience. And that's okay too. That's the reason why we have one on ones. And for those of you that realize that, well, maybe I would like to have the support of a group, we have a group as well. So reach out to me. My contact information is listed at the bottom of this screen, or at least in the comments section somewhere. I can be reached at 312-601-8510. You can send a text to that number and just say ready. And then you can schedule a free consultation where we actually create solutions for you. We are not playing around here. A lot of the times, people will find that the solutions, since we arrive at them so quickly, is rather mind blowing, and they just simply want to chew on that. Other times, people say, you know what, this is great, but I don't want to wrestle this. Now that I've uncovered what the real issue is, the real issue that's been blocking me, I don't want to tackle this and wrestle with this thing, this beast, on my own. I desire and feel that I am worth the attention. and the one-on-one tailor-made solutions that I feel finally that I need. If you're the type of person that feels that way, then after the consultation, maybe it would be worth us chatting about